welcome back for our fourth segment of our Day of Giving today. I am so excited to be joined by a few members of our awesome retreat programs. Today, I am so lucky to be joined with Juniors members Nicole Aponte and Wilmar St. Cyrin, and Saints members Sophia Rinaldi and Nicholas Valentine. Welcome, guys. I'm so glad to be here with you. And shortly we will be joined later with Jordan, with Mr. James O'Brien, Brother Michael Gillen, and Mrs. Rosemary Dougal. So, Juniors, tell me a little about yourself.
So I am a three-season athlete. I run cross country and track and field. I'm a producer of the Communications Club. I teach prep. I'm involved in SMART, and I'm a Eucharistic minister. I recently had the opportunity to go to Israel on a program called Project Understanding. It's an interfaith group, and we traveled to the Holy Land. And I'm also going to Lourdes this summer.
Amazing.
Well, I'm a two-season track and field athlete. I'm a Eucharistic minister. I'm part of the drama club. I'm also part of the Firebird Orchestra. I'm part of the junior retreat staff. I'm part of SALT, part of GSO. I'm part of Gregorian Consortium. I sing at Mass. I'm part of XOT Band, which is monthly adoration. I perform there as well. I'm a producer at the St. Cecilia Recording Studio, which also collabs with Gregorian. And I've been chosen to go to Lourdes this summer, so I'm very excited about that as well.
Wow, two very well-rounded students, clearly. So I introduced you guys before as juniors. Can you tell me what that means? I know you're a junior in high school, but what does the word juniors really mean?
So the word juniors means juniors responding spiritually.
So we help out with the freshman retreats. So each homeroom has the opportunity to go to Stella Maris, which I know Brother Michael, Mr. O'Brien, and Mrs. Dougal will talk about later. They're able to go out and retreat, which means to withdraw back. And not only the freshmen are able to experience something like this, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are able to too. So many of our peers are involved in that as well.
Amazing. So as we're talking about retreats, obviously it's a very spiritual, rewarding experience. Why is it so rewarding to the two of you, personally?
Well, I find it very rewarding because when you're a freshman entering high school, you're very confused and you don't know where you want to go. And since I'm part of junior retreat staff, I like to be that inspiration to guide the freshmen, and then hopefully they find their place in this school, their place in this world, importantly, and that when they become juniors and they become seniors, they can participate in those clubs and be part of junior retreat staff and Saints and stuff like that.
I hope to be a vessel of faith or an inspiration of some sort to the freshmen that are able to experience such an amazing retreat program. I hope to inspire the faith that I've received at Kellenberg and pass it on to them.
Thank you so much. Now, moving on to our Saints, can you tell me a little about yourself? What are you involved in here at Kellenberg?
I played soccer all 4 years here at Kellenberg. I teach prep. I'm involved in SMART. I'm in Saints, and I'm an athletic retreat staff leader. I was also fortunate enough to be chosen to go to Panama this past January for World Youth Day, and I think that was one of the best experiences I was ever offered.
Amazing.
I'm involved in SMART. I'm with SALT, GSO, and I was a part of junior retreat staff last year, which was awesome, great experience. And I'm on Saints, and I'm a part of the alumni committee for the graduating class of 2019.
Awesome. So, like we were talking before, juniors mean something. What does Saints mean? What's that acronym for?
Saints stands for Seniors Assisting and Nurturing the Sophomores, and it's just a great experience where seniors can just take a day, sophomores can take a day, go stare to the retreat house and interact one-on-one and in a group with sophomores.
So for you guys, as your senior year, why is this so rewarding? As you're closing out your Kellenberg career, what does this mean to you?
For me, I think it's so rewarding because we don't normally interact with sophomores on a daily basis and we don't get to talk to them, but in this retreat it's a safe space for them to open up and talk to us about their stories, and we get to share our stories and we get to relate and show that we all go through similar experiences and kind of make the transition from freshmen to sophomores a little bit easier for them.
And also the main two things we go over are doubts and second chances, and it's important to know that somebody has been through what you're going through. You're not alone. Always, if you ever need anybody to talk to, you definitely have the teachers and us to lean on, and we're always there to help them and guiding them through their sophomore year.
Definitely. The Kellenberg idea of family is definitely strong throughout our retreat programs as well. So as you guys know, we've been watching segments from our video Running the Race throughout the day, and now we're going to take a pause and watch a segment entitled Vocations, featuring one of my close family friends, Father James Hansen, who's a priest at St. Agnes Cathedral, and actually is a Kellenberg grad, class of 2007. And in this short piece, he will bring you on his journey of how his faith was nurtured at Kellenberg to where he is today. So enjoy this spiritual piece.
There's a great combination, I think, of things that helped me recognize that the Lord was calling me to this vocation. It really started at my parish at St. Catherine Siena, Franklin Square. The pastor there was a great priest, a holy priest, and the gift of going to Kellenberg was something at Kellenberg. My faith was really nurtured in the best kind of way. So what started at my parish really picked up and continued at Kellenberg. One of the great things about Kellenberg and becoming a Eucharistic minister at Kellenberg was we had to go to XLT. You would be able to pray in front of the Eucharist, and you got a sense of community with all the people that were there, a genuine concern on the part of the brothers that they cared about us, that they cared about the faith, and that Jesus, truly present in the Eucharist, needs to be at the center of everything you do. Definitely sense that in the community. As a parish priest, I feel especially connected to the people of this particular parish, St. Agnes Cathedral in Rockville Center. And although I've only been a priest for 2 years, you get to know the people in a way where you really do share with them their struggles, saying goodbye to a family member, dealing with some type of cancer or illness, the death of a child, but also the great moments, getting married and starting a family, being able to see couples that I've married just a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and baptize their children, and sharing in those joys, you really do get a sense of community. The motto of Kellenberg, One Heart, One Mind, is something that's always stuck with me throughout life, be it at the cafeteria, at the lunch table with your friends, in the classroom with the teachers, the conversations with the brothers or the priests at Kellenberg. It's one heart and it's one mind centered around Jesus Christ, and trying to carry that into every aspect, every relationship, that we really are one through the power of Jesus in the Eucharist. All of the priests and brothers at Kellenberg have helped me when I was there and continue to set an example of what it means to be Christian, what it means to be of one heart, one mind.
And there you have it, that great piece there from Father James Hansen, class of 2007. He's an associate pastor at St. Agnes Cathedral in Rockville Center. And as we said earlier, that's part of Nick Castelli's documentary Running the Race, which we'll be seeing more of later on in our Day of Giving. We're joined back at the desk now by some of our faculty who help to lead our spiritual department here and help to lead retreats. So help me welcome onto the set Mr. James O'Brien, Mrs. Rosemary Dougal, and Brother Michael Gillen. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Mr. O'Brien, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you teach? And I know you're kind of close to Father James yourself, so if you want to talk about the video.
Sure. Yeah, I am a parishioner at St. Agnes, so I do know Father James pretty well. My young daughters attend that school, so they know him. And he definitely lives out one heart, one mind in our parish. And through Kellenberg, he's come back here to say masses and help us out with different events. At school here, I teach scripture. This is my 13th year here. It's hard to believe now that I am actually teaching. I'm colleagues with some of the kids that I taught. I never thought I'd get to that point, but I'm here. I also coach. I did guidance. I run a lot of the retreats. I work up in the Ark with a great team up there and do a lot of the spiritual activities. I think probably the one thing that I do that's probably the most apparent would be Cross, which is, it used to be about 100 kids. Now we have about 400 kids every Thursday. Which is awesome. It's really just to get them involved in something spiritually. And then on the side, I also DJ all the dances here. So that's something the Holy Spirit has brought upon in the last 13 years. I never thought I'd say either.
It's a DJOB next to me on the desk.
Yeah.
Mrs. Dougal, why don't you introduce yourself as well?
Hi, I'm Rosemary Dougal, and I came with the school. So I'm one of the oldest faculty in the building, and I have a kind of an interesting career. I started as a science teacher. I taught earth science and biology for about 15 years, did cheerleading and drama for about 15 years, and now I do the spiritual life, and I teach Christian morality, and I'm in the Aquinas League and Cross for the juniors, and very involved in the retreat program as well.
And Brother Mike, if you would just introduce yourself, and actually before the show, while the video was going on, we were discussing Father James. You said you had a pretty distinct memory of Father James. So if you talk about
I have lots of memories of Father James, too many to list. Certainly a dynamic young man in high school, and I came upon him, I guess probably during his sophomore year, freshman year actually, and he was a live wire, if you want to put it bluntly. So we engaged a lot, had a lot of conversations and a lot of guidance meetings, and I pulled him into a lot of spiritual activities. He had a real sensitive soul, and even brought him into we had a little Easter prayer service and set it up. And of course, who did we invite into the prayer service? It was Father James, and he was selected to be Judas for that that role. Marvelous, and he was able to play the part perfectly. Okay, but it's all good. He did very, very well. I do a lot of things at Kellenberg. I've been here about 16 years or so, and certainly in the teaching aspect, spreading the faith, Christian morality. And then I do a lot of retreat work with the juniors, and with Mrs. Dougal and I, we run some solid retreats during the course of the year. The juniors are touched by that. And then I do an outreach with the Eucharistic ministers, both in school and outside of school. We help about 4 or 5 nursing homes outside weekly, and then do a lot of internal distribution of Holy Communion at our school liturgies. And I sort of orchestrate a lot of those liturgies. And then lastly, I think I do a lot of guidance with a lot of different divisions. So my time is filled and well spent. Right? Enjoyable, very enjoyable here.
And Mrs. Dougal, describe some of the changes that you've seen over the years here at Kellenberg, how it's sort of evolved.
Sure, especially in the spiritual realm. When we first started, we really didn't have a retreat program. I think it might have been the 3rd year or so when Father Tom and Brother Ken came over that we really started a formal retreat program. So we really see addressing those needs more. You know, Father Hansen talked about one heart, one mind, and I love what Nicole said about being a vessel. I think that's what our job is here now, is to help them make that vessel. What they put in it is up to them, but I think the whole point of the retreat program is to help them form that vessel. So I think we're very conscious today about addressing the spiritual needs of the students, and in today's society, that's a big demand.
So true. And Mr. O'Brien, if you could just talk a little bit about some of the changes that you've seen here as well.
You know, one of the things I'll say about Kellenberg is, as Mrs. Dougal said, we amend our retreats. It's not just this is the freshman retreat and this is how we've always done it. We amend our retreats to the needs of the students. And you know, even the course of the last few years, I think in the freshman retreat program over the course of the last 6 years, we've had 3 different retreats. And what we've done is we've really looked at what the students are doing, and even after each retreat, we ask feedback from them. What did you learn from this? What did you like in this? What are the needs that you need that you want spiritually or that you need socially? So this year we've been really lucky. I know Brother Ken talked about it this morning, but we purchased a beautiful retreat house in Islip, and December happened, and we said, why don't we take our freshmen out east? And the best thing about Kellenberg is, you know, there's no bureaucracy. It's like, why don't we do this? And Brother Michael loved it, Father Tom liked it, Brother Ken liked it, and said, we're doing it. And we've really brought all our freshmen out there, and I think it's a great opportunity for them, because it allows our newest students to see almost our newest house. And knowing anything about Kellenberg, being here 13 years now, is it's not going to look like that in a few years. It's great for what we have now, but it's going to evolve. You know, it's going to evolve. Even I've seen Founders Hollow since I started going there. I think the first retreat I went on to Founders Hollow, I think I brought maybe 20 students. And now we have a dorm, everything, that we have so much more space and so much more of a need to bring the students, because they really, as Mrs. Dougal said, in our current society, they have a yearning for spirituality. And when they come into Kellenberg, there's something here that wants them to do these things, that wants them. I mean, just Jordan would know, we've started even a Catholic experience camp. We never thought this would be anything. We thought there'd be 20 or 30 kids. There's hundreds of kids signing up and filling up buses to go on their summer vacation, which is extraordinary to me. I'm always amazed by that. I never thought it would become something like that, but it's the students who drive us to continue with our retreats.
And Mr. O'Brien, as you said, Brother Kenneth talked about it this morning. You mentioned it. And what you folks have just been seeing on your screen, that's footage of our new retreat house out in Islip. It's called Stella Maris. Brother Mike, if you would kind of introduce us to it, why do we need it, the role it serves in the lives of Kellenberg students?
So over the course of many years, our spiritual programs, retreat programs, all our apostolic activities have just exploded tremendously. That which you've had 10, 15, 20 kids on is now multiplied. We've expanded our programs. Everything is filled to capacity. So we were looking to build or to find something on the property or off the property. And lo and behold, this beautiful home was presented to us that was right on the water. And we said, this might be able to serve us as a day retreat program, a home. And so we took a look at it, and we just saw a vision of Stella Maris that could handle a real good need, an overflow of the spiritual explosion that's taken place at Kellenberg Memorial. And of course, within a month, I think we purchased the home in November. Within a month, it started its usage. It is changed significantly in 3-4 months, but it services very, very well. We've had sports teams out there. We've had freshmen out there. We've had juniors out there. I've taken the Eucharistic ministers out there. It is just a marvel. It's a beautiful place, and it's a magnificent place on the water. So it has a different feel to it than Founders Hollow, a much different feel than the Retreat House Emmanuel. So it affords us a place to get off the property and still get back to our normal routine, but give us a respite that's spiritual.
And so, as you mentioned, we have Founders Hollow, Emmanuel Retreat House here at Kellenberg, now Stella Maris. So many of our clubs and groups and sports and activities will go on retreats, and for a lot of students, they're familiar with what a retreat is, the role it serves, how it deepens their faith. To a parent who maybe doesn't really understand how a retreat could benefit their child or the role it serves in their child's faith life, Mrs. Dougal, would you talk to that?
Yeah, sure. I think we live in a time that is so fast and so loud that you need an opportunity to retreat, to leave it behind. And I'm a very private person, and I know that the kids here are private. And what happens on a retreat, I think my job is to help them to talk. And most of my job is just listening. It's just giving them the opportunity to really be listened to by an adult who isn't judging, who's concerned about what they feel. And at this point in their life, especially the juniors and seniors, they're choosing their faith. They're choosing their faith and how they're going to go out and live it. So my job is to help them develop that, to listen to them and to encourage them and to say, it's okay if you're having doubts or if you're having problems, that's part of the journey.
And Mr. O'Brien, one final thought from you. In a couple sentences, why is it important to give back to Kellenberg, to the Marianist mission? Why is it so important?
I actually was asked by Father James just 2 days ago to do a witness during adoration at St. Agnes. And myself and another teacher were asked to speak. And I prayed about what I was going to speak about. And I'm used to talking in my classroom or even in the Kellenberg auditorium, but I'm not always used to talking on the altar. And the first thing that came to my mind was the image of Mary in my life. And that comes from the Marianist brothers and priests. That comes from this building. You know, when you walk into this building, I know my kids walk in here and they hop and skip down the hallway. Like, they feel home here. And they're only 8, 6, and 1.5, but they feel home here. And when the students walk in here, when you come in here, you feel at home. And you know, I hope my wife is a graduate from here, and when we give back, we're giving back to the current students now. And I'm hoping that the students now are going to give back when it's time for my kids to be here. And I think that's what it is. It's passing along. I've learned so much from the priests and brothers here who taught me. And as I said before, now I'm working with some of my own old students. And just to see that legacy passed on, I think that's why it's important to give back. As Mrs. Dougal said, this is a place, this is a light, this is a place of faith for our students. It's not just a school, it's a home to them. It's where they spend these 4 years of their life, but mostly where they pray through some of these difficult 4 years of their life.
Very well said, and I think we can all attest to that, why it's important to give back. Folks, we thank you for being here. Mr. James O'Brien, Mrs. Rosemary Dougal, Brother Michael Gillen, thank you guys for being a part of our day. We're going to head back over to the other side of our Day of Giving set. Kate is with some of the students. They are going to show us some donations that have been coming in. Kate, what do you have?
Thanks, Jordan. So we're going to actually start reading through donations like we've been doing throughout the day. So Nicole, do you want to start?
Sure. Joan and Joe Kenny, who are alumni parents and are part of the family of Kelly Kenny, class of 2019, would like to make a donation in honor of Marquis Brom, class of 2013. Marquis left this life way too soon, and our thoughts and prayers go out always to his parents and siblings. Elizabeth Huggard, who is alumna of the class of 2018, and is so grateful that she is an alumna of Kellenberg Memorial High School. The relationships and memories that she has made at Kellenberg will stay with her forever, and Kellenberg has truly shaped her into the person that she is today. Tom Kennedy, who is an alumni from the class of 2009 and Kellenberg faculty member, who is making his donation in memory of Brother Richard Hughes. He says, "I donate this year in honor of the man who taught me what it means to serve. I'll never forget working alongside Brother Richard, and I hope to create some of those same memories with my students." And Michelle the Piccolo, a current parent of Kellenberg Memorial High School, and is making her donation in memory of our recently departed Firebird, Max Matos.
Lamar, you want to read yours?
Gretchen Brown, who is a Firebird grandparent. Gretchen says, "What a wonderful school for our grandson, Joseph Brown, who is a freshman. Thank you for the education you're providing him." Lucy Fogarty, a graduate of Maria Regina's class of 1982. Lucy is making this donation in honor of her nephew, Joseph Ward, who is a freshman. George Reese, a current senior. George is making his donation in honor of Mr. Alfella and says, "Congratulations to the class of 2019. Jill Kazenza, alumni parent. Jill says, "Keep up the great work. God bless Brother Ken and the wonderful Mariners community."
Thank you, Sophia. You want to read yours?
Barbara Cooper, a current parent, says, "Congratulations, class of 2019, and a special shout out to our favorite Firebird, Grace Cooper. From two of your biggest fans, your sister and brother, Aaron and Brady Cooper." Kevin Hannafin, alumni parent and Kellenberg's varsity football coach, says, "Congrats to a great school that does so many things for so many people. Go Firebirds." Kristen Sanford, a current student, class of 2019, says, "I would like to thank everyone that has been with me the past 4 years. Being at Kellenberg has been a life-changing experience for me." Gary Jansen, alumni of 1988, says, "Thank you so much for all the beautiful work you do."
Nick?
Joe and Marcy Fiore, faculty members, alums from the class of 2009. Joe and Marcy say, "We are donating for all the future Firebirds to come, and for our 2 future Firebirds, JJ and Madison Fiore. Thank you, Kellenberg, for being such a beautiful place to grow and continuing to be a place for us." Mary Marks, current and alumni parent. Mary says, "Congratulations to the class of 2019. James Walsh, alumni parent. James is offering prayers that we meet and beat our goal today." Dominic Vesley, alum, class of 2018. Dominic says, "R.I.P. Tobit, the goodest boy."
Perfect. Thank you so much. So now we are going to reveal our total as of right now. So our total right now with 744 donors is $77,889, which is awesome. This is a great number. We've got a few more segments going on later, our day isn't over, but I want to thank you all for being here with me today, for all of your time and donating your hours throughout the day. But our day's not over yet. Our next segment is at 4, and we're going to be talking about our awesome STEM programs, which are going to be going on here. And STEM isn't just in the labs and the classrooms. We have some live experiments going on over here. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm so excited to see it. So I'll see you at 4.